Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. We're going to be playing games so obscure that you can't even find some of them on Google. Google is not safe. We're now playing games from 1980. It is the end of summer of 1980, so we're taking you back. This last game we played is called Uldorf's Revenge, which I had never heard of. And it turns out Uldorf's Revenge used to be called Wizard, and they were sued by Online Systems, which we know now is Sierra, the more popular company. Sierra sued Uldorf and said he got to change the name because they just released Wizard and the Princess, which is another text adventure game with graphics. Both of them are. So maybe that's what Uldorf's Revenge is famous for. It was sued by Sierra for having a similar game. So we're moving on to our next game after Uldorf's Revenge. This is Phantoms 5. We're still on the Apple II. I've never heard of this one. Most likely, if it's Apple II, I'm expecting simulation or tactical, possibly. And this is by Serious Software. First one we've seen by Serious Software. Oh my goodness. Serious Software, and it's programmed by Nasir Gebelli. If you're not familiar with him, we're going to see a lot of him. He programmed quite a bit of machine language back in the day. So this is Phantoms 5, and if we had any others before, we didn't have the label saying it was by Nasir Gebelli. All right, so there we go. Nasir Gebelli, documentation, art drawn, assembly language, yes, 448K for the Apple II or Apple II Plus. We'll be playing on the Apple II, well, a modified Apple II Plus, so we can go a little bit faster. And this is 1980. There we go. I was looking for the disc for us. Serious Software presents Phantoms 5. Requires 48K. Imagine 48K to play an entire game back in 1980. So there's an example of the screenshot. I'm not able to really make out exactly what we're seeing there, but there is the title and game over screen. So just a few screenshots for us. All right, let's pop in our disc, the actual floppy disk. It is October 28th, 1980, playing Phantoms 5 for the Apple II. Oh, it did not load. So we try it a different way. We have lots of ways we can load. Let's try it this way. All right, so August 28th, 1980. There we go. Sometimes it takes a different one. That's right, an actual floppy disk. 5 1/4 floppy disk. And there it is in all its glory. I love how the Apple II slowly draws elements in, and we're going to see some other systems like the PC Junior and the earlier IBM systems that slowly draw everything in. But oh, this is fantastic. Overlaid. Nasir Gebelli was very well known for doing things the computer wasn't expected to do, like this. This is the first time we've ever seen any game have an overlay on top of another, like multiple scrolling. It's like Nasir's showing off. He is a wizard, and we're going to see lots of games that he does similar to this one. Okay, so Phantoms 5, we don't have a manual, so we're going in blind. Let's see what happens if I push enter on the keyboard. It starts off with a very impressive title screen. So there you go. Yeah, it's doing the wash across, showing scrolling. It looks like multiple layers, but we know the Apple II cannot do that. Man, I'm telling you, some of these developers have wizardry that they're able to perform these things. So here we go. So we're in the game now, and it looks like, oh wow, I'm controlling this large plane. I'm using the does this work with a joystick? It does. I'm using the Apple II joystick, and I'm able to control the plane with a joystick. Oh wow, this is impressive. How large the plane is. I can move it left and right, and it looks like I'm just dropping bombs. So it's a scrolling shooter for the Apple II. Phantoms 5 is the most technically impressive game I've seen for the Apple II, at least graphically wise. It even plays well. It's playing with a joystick. And it's a plane that is... Oh, wait, something's happening. It even switches screens to show planes coming at us. Oh, this is amazing. Now, we didn't have a manual, so I'm having to wing it, but it's working really well. Look at the graphics. This is the best looking thing I've seen on the Apple II. The fact that they can get a plane this large to move across the screen, and then I'm bombing things. You can see we got a high score. If I look at the top, it looks like I have lives, health, time, I'm guessing. But wow, it works so well. And do I have any other? Oh man, the explosion looks fantastic. There is no sound though, either because it's not emulated, but the Apple II was known to have just an internal speaker. So if you want to get sound, it had to be the bleeps and bloops. So he may have foregone not having sound, or it's just not being emulated for this one. But amazing. And if you think of everything else we could see at the time, I'm trying to think of other things we could have played at home that had this graphical fidelity. Now, you notice there's another trick they're doing for the scroll. The colors in the background are not solid. Notice there's a mesh pattern or almost a pointillism going on. And I wonder if that helps make the scrolling effect look more believable. But this is fantastic. Keep in mind, the games we've seen in the arcades were fixed screens, or they were screens that were slowly scrolling something... slowly scrolling like a Starfield, but not a full screen scroll. So as far as scrolling shooters, this is not doing that. Do I have other attacks I can do? Oh, nice. Okay, so I can also do switching between a plane, or I can make it a reticle if I wanted to. Oh, this is so cool. And it even has, it goes to a first-person view. Wow, awesome. All right, so push button 0. 0. I'm pushing it. Oh, am I out of lives? Yeah, I'm doing my due diligence and pushing the button I need to, but I'm unable to start the next mission. And it is a little weird that it doesn't have the full what is it, sound on this. There's not anything that's sounding on the screen for us. Okay, that is too good. I can't believe that. Yeah, and it's there's something happening in the background that Nasir's doing that is allowing that to work. So I really want to give a heads up for all the developers, because now we're working with true geniuses. I would even call them wizards. That's true. Maybe we don't want the bleeps and bloops, but I would say some sound is good, but the graphics for that one, just keep in mind, everything we played in even the arcades, we haven't seen something that scrolls like that. For a scrolling shooter, we've seen a Starfield in the background, or something that is trying to be a scrolling shooter, but we've seen mostly Galaxian fixed shooters, run ships at the bottom, and you move across, but that's a scrolling shooter for the Apple II. So I verified as many dates as I could, but this for 1980 is incredible. Now it doesn't have, it has the two different views too, but it didn't have the sound, but we don't know if that's because of the emulation or not. But still, I'm going to do 5 stars. Phantom 5 is 5 stars, definitely. Yeah, I can see that. From everything else though, it's because this is beating something we could see in the arcades. Way too impressive. I got to do 5. It's pushing the boundaries. All right, so moving on to our next game. We're still on the Apple II. Something must have happened, because we've had so many releases of the Apple II in August of 1980, and this is another one. This is Rescue at Rigel, released in 1980. Let's take a look at the artwork for Rescue at Rigel. You've got 60 minutes in real time to free 10 prisoners from a maze-like alien moonbase. And of course, you have to rescue the alien damsel in distress, or the woman that the aliens are going after. Quick, save her. So this is by Epix, also known as Star Quest Rescue at Rigel. And it looks like we got a story that involves prisoners we need to rescue. And this is the back of the box. Graphics, computer-generated map. Apple uses high-resolution color and sound, and in real time. Because we've seen games that are turn-based. You have to go one at a time. And it looks like they even tell us ages 10 through adult. Wait, ages 10 through adult? I don't think so. If the front of the box looks like that, they're probably going to have some lonely nerds at home that need to rescue a girl, sadly. Playing time 20 to 60 minutes. So you can spend an hour playing the game. And it looks like it's one player only from 1980. So Rescue at Rigel, or Star Quest Rescue at Rigel. And there's an example of the screenshot. It looks like it's possible we're playing one room at a time from Automated Simulations. All right, so no manual on this one, so we're going to go in just winging it. Here we go. It is August 27th, 1980, and we're on our Apple II. Uh-oh, the file's not found. That's not a good sign. This means we don't boot it up, or it doesn't play. Oh, okay, we'll try loading it a different way and see if we can get it up. Let's try this way. Come on, you can do it. Rescue it, Rigel, I believe in you. All right, anything. Oh, sadly, this is one of those games that it looks like it is not a good copy of the game, because when we play games on Chronologically Gaming, not every game's tested. We're going one at a time, just in chronological order, and it looks like this copy that we have on the Apple II will not load correctly. So either because the disc is corrupted or it doesn't play correctly. So we're just going to have to breeze by, but it's not the last we've seen of Rescue at Rigel. It's just the Apple II version. So as far as what we can rate this one, now we haven't played it yet, so we're going to have to go ahead and give it 0 stars. And I'm not familiar with Rescue at Rigel, so we'll have to see it on other systems. So sorry, we don't get to rescue anybody. Moving on to our next game, still on the Apple II. This is Asteroids in Space. I wonder if it is based on the arcade game, because we saw Asteroids last year. All right, so let's take a look at the artwork for Asteroids in Space. As always, the computer box art, or the computer flyer, whatever you want to call it, is very bare bones. The computer world at this time is so niche. There's not many people that are either that nerdy or that committed to computers, and so they're either doing it their own way. Like you can see here, they probably typed it up themselves. But Asteroids in Space by Bruce Wallace, a product of quality software. Yes, this is quality software. We only play the best on Chronologically Gaming. To load Asteroids in Space, oh yes, anytime you had a home computer and you wanted to play something, it wasn't like in Intellivision or the Atari. You couldn't just put the cartridge in. You had to sometimes run certain commands, and it wasn't a streamlined process. So it looks like it says, oh, it's easy to load. Yeah, right, Apple II, easy to load. Did you know that the power switch for the Apple II is on the back of the system? It wasn't even on the front. So to start the game, you'll be asked if you want a normal or demo mode. The normal mode is the mode in which your player controls a ship and competes to see how many points they can score. Press the N key to enter this mode. Demo or demonstration to see how the game appears. Oh, that's great. So they'll show us how to play. Demo mode continues indefinitely, but can be stopped by using the return key. Oh, yes. We love instructions here. First time we play the game. So you asked if it's normal or fast lasers. Oh, there we go. And finally, you'll be asked if you want normal or fast asteroids. Oh, it's got to be Asteroids. It's got to be a Apple II version of the arcade game. If while answering any of the questions you press the spacebar or a key is asked for, you'll obtain a default value. Okay, so to play the game, your spaceship's centered on the screen. If any asteroid strikes your spaceship, the round is over. You're given 5 rounds per game, and extra rounds awarded each time to score points. It's all about points at this time. Hitting an asteroid's worth 20 to 100 points. To get higher score. Okay, so it makes sense. And there is a terrible picture of the cassette that you could play on your Apple II. What better way to play video games than on a cassette tape? We're going to play lots more of those. If you thought it was only for music, you were wrong. We're going to play, hopefully, games that load quick, because the cassette tape does not load fast. So there's the actual floppy disk. That's the one we'll be playing, Asteroids in Space, on the floppy. Oh, screenshot looks just like Asteroids. Okay, so any other extra versions? Looks like we got a Cavalier Computer version and Interactive Fantasies version. We're going to be playing the original, which is from Quality Software. All right, it's August 28th, 1980. This is the Apple II, and we're playing the Asteroids game. Now, there was lots of games before Asteroids we saw, specifically on the Atari 2600, that had the same design as the ship for Asteroids. So I can't really say that this is based on the arcade, because there was another version that was on the Atari home computer. Okay, so let's see what demo mode looks like, just to see what they do. Ooh. So it's demonstrating the game. Looks like it shows asteroid field right next to my head on this side. And then I don't see a ship, but I see bullets firing, and yes, it's blowing the asteroids. They get to smaller pieces, and we have even a UFO. Yeah, there we go. So this has to be a completely independent game. Someone made this themselves, but very impressive for just wanting to copy what either the arcade or Atari did. The Atari game had a home version that came before the arcade version, most likely developed by the same person. But yeah, you can even see the large UFO and the big UFO. Okay, so let's switch this one out. We'll hit return. I would like to play now my Asteroids. Oh gosh, I hit escape and it looks like I killed the game. There are some functions. Oh, there we go. It reset. Excellent. All right, so we want, let's try paddle input and see if my paddle's in. Oh, yeah. All right, so there you go. I am a spaceship in the middle. Oh gosh, the paddle control is so sensitive. All right, hold on. Reset. We'll do it. We'll try joystick instead. Yeah, so keep in mind, the Apple II at this time did not have a color screen. It only had a black and white screen. So even though we have little flicks, oh, I'm not going to make it in time. I wasn't ready. You have little flicks of color here and there, but that is not correct. That'd be what it looked like if you played it on a color monitor. Oh, they even have the thumping in the background. Awesome. So am I back? Now it destroyed me. Okay, there we go. So now I'm back. Do I have controls? Oh gosh. It just totally flashed white when I blew up that time. Oh, it's my hyperspace. So Asteroids has a hyperspace that allows you to warp around. But the thumping, they're trying to simulate what it's like in the arcades. Ugh, scary. How do I get it to go? Okay, so that's just my hyperspace, but I want to be able to... All right, so based on the sound effects, this is definitely a port of the arcade version of Asteroids. Very faithful, runs very well and smooth, especially for the Apple II. We rarely see action games on the Apple II, so that's done very well. We're going to go ahead and give that one above average, because our average at the time is about 2 or 3. So we're going to go ahead and give that one 3.5 stars. Very nicely done for something you could play on your Apple II. All right, so after Asteroids in Space, our next game is Digger. We are back in the arcades. Digger looks like Hyankyo Alien, the United States release or North American release. But let's check it out and see. All right, so this is the artwork for Digger. There is our advertisement flyer. A whole new video thrill. Gremlin's new Digger is more than an exciting test of speed and manual skill. It's also a game of strategy that challenges the player's minds as much as their reflexes. Gremlin's exclusive multi-phase multi-phase. Why would that one be a registered trademark? I wonder if it has to do with the technology of the system. It keeps players' interest high by increasing the challenge as their skills improve. The playing field changes with each new game phase, and after every successful phase, the number of enemy creatures increases. Players can choose individual or combined scoring for competitive or cooperative play. So if you haven't tuned in to the episode where we played Hyankyo Alien, it is a very influential game that was released in Japan, and this would be the North American release, most likely taken by Gremlin Sega. So the gameplay is a top-down maze game released before Pac-Man. Actually, we haven't seen Pac-Man yet. The only one we've seen is Puck-Man in Japan. So this is a top-down game, but it uses strategy. It's a blast to play. There's the example of the arcade cabinet. When you first hear Digger, though, you think Dig Dug, but we haven't seen Dig Dug yet. The only other digging game we've seen was Miner. Okay, so there is the controls. Looks like we got dig and fill, and I'll explain when we start to play. But we have a full range up, down, left, and right to move around the maze. There is the arcade marquee for Digger, and screenshot, full color arcade game. Let's take a look at the operator's manual. This is the arcade operation manual for Digger. Operating and service manual. Let's see if usually Gremlin explains things like this, where it says introduction. This is an electronic game that makes extensive use of digital integrated circuitry and television monitor circuitry. Most likely written by someone that's technical, because people that played or used the manual were wanting to set up the arcade cabinet the right way. Yeah. We know about the dangers of electricity and don't want to get shocked and die. But we want to know, bingo, game concept. Digger is no, it's not. We know it's Hyankyo Alien. It was there in Japan first. Gremlin Sega game that requires you to dig strategically place holes within a maze format so you can capture and fill in over the invading creatures before they attack and destroy your man. You maneuver your man around the maze with a 4-directional joystick. 2 push-button controls. Oh yeah, keep in mind, the joystick is only 4 directions. If you played any arcade games from the 90s, all those are 8-way joysticks or more. This is old school 4-way joystick only. The base format changes with every round played. Very unique because we saw Puck-Man earlier. Puck-Man was eventually going to be Pac-Man, but it's the same maze every single time. So this one, the maze from the top down changes every time the round goes through. Digger is a gremlin multi-phase game that becomes increasingly challenging as your skills improve, as you will see. The creatures are confined behind a wall. In the first of 3 rounds of gameplay, 4 creatures are let out of the holding area through a gate. You must conquer these 4 before advancing to the next round, where you face 6 creatures. Your third round has you battling 8 creatures. And another reason we're going through this manual is when we played Hyankyo Alien, we didn't have the manual. And if we did, it would probably be in kana or kanji. So I'm not able to read the Japanese, so this is the first time we've had an explanation of how the game works. While you're busy digging holes and entrapping creatures, the rest are behind the retaining wall, scurrying back and forth. After about 3 minutes, the gate at the edge will open and all the remaining creatures will stream into the play area at once. However, a skillful player will conquer all the creatures of each round, and the gate will not be a threat. So you get score bonuses explaining how do you get an extra man. They always have that for the arcade games. You get enough points and then you get an extra person, which is a great incentive because before the points were just points. But now arcade games are starting to turn the points into lives, and the more points you get, the longer you can play. Very good incentive, besides just getting points and bragging to someone on the school grounds or something like that. So extra creatures captured. 8 squeaking sounds are heard before the creature escapes from the hole. And then the 2-player, okay, so you can do 2-player, alternate turns. Okay, so not simultaneous, but alternate turns. And then if you have a cocktail table, you can do 2-player simultaneous. Oh, that's awesome. So the cocktail table is the top down. You can put drinks on top. So you can do simultaneous play. That's awesome for that version. I don't know if Hyankyo Alien had that. All right, so for alternate versions, we have just 2. We're going to play the North American release. Here we go. It is September 1980, and we're playing Digger in the arcades by Sega Gremlin. And there it is. This is, if you look on the far left side, all the way at the top, are all the aliens entrapped. And you can see the aliens are the green creatures. Now, as you play, am I on now? I am not on now. Okay, so when you put a coin in, let's go and put one in. Play Digger. Oh, it gives you instructions because it's a little different than any other game. Move the man with the right, dig holes to trap creatures, then fill the holes to capture the trapped creatures and avoid contact with them. So you push start. Do we have music? We do not, but there's our aliens and there's our man. I'm the white guy in the top right corner. I can move around, and the way it works is I start to dig a hole and I set a trap. And I can set a few traps in different places, but you can't be in contact with the alien or then you die, you lose a man. But you want to be able to trap the alien, and as soon as the alien's trapped, then you close the hole and you capture the alien. Boom, we got the 300 points. Great effect there, but still no sound effects, so don't adjust your volume. It's either because the emulation or the game itself didn't have volume programmed into the PCB. Okay, so as you can see here, I get different holes, but once I make a trap, I can't go past it. So I'm waiting essentially for the alien to go in the trap that I set. How many I can set, I don't know. So let's just set a bunch of them and see if we can catch any of them. Yeah, so this is an extremely fun game, really influential, especially for the Japanese market. I don't know how influential it was for the North American, because this game eventually influenced Lode Runner. And Lode Runner just kicked off in Japan. Oh, here we go. We got one creature, but we got to get there to trap him before he gets released. And so there, oh, see, there you go. Right before it closed up, I ran out of time and the alien came out. Or did they call it creature? I think they call it creature for the North American instead of alien. So anyway, I'm trying to get over there, close it before the alien. Nope, the alien got out of it. So now I'm back to square one, leaving traps, and you have to be able to time it to capture the alien and close it up before they get out. Let's see if we can put... And if you do a half a trap, it doesn't count. It's got to be a fully open trap, and then the creature comes in, and then you can capture him. There, got that one. And that's how it works. So it's a very fun, strategic, top-down game. And just keep in mind, this is before Pac-Man. With the top... Oh, another one got in my trap. I didn't have time to go get that one. So I got another one, and the only way I can get to it, because I can't get through the traps, is I have to lower the trap to walk through it. So here we go. I'm going to lower this one with this guy inside. And we have a time limit. If you look on the far left, all those aliens are about to flood into the game. Let's see exactly how many sprites they can get at one time. Okay, let me get this guy on top. All right, so this is, I think, first round done. Yep, so it's loading the next round. There's the next group of aliens coming in. And starting up again, gonna go for the top. Oh, see, if I don't have a full trap, it doesn't work. And every one of the aliens, to my knowledge, is not controlled by a lot of intelligent AI. So it's yeah, see that one? I didn't have the whole trap up. So alien just goes right through it and then gets me. But I'm still playing on the same quarter, so we're going to keep, as I try to move around. It's a 4-way joystick, so it feels less intuitive than other arcade games, but very similar to what we've seen at the time. Oh, and this is fantastic. We can make a name, enter initials, use the dig and feel. Oh, this is so cool. So you use the same buttons to dig and feel and put your name in here. All right, so let's see if we can put, I want to get, oh yeah, you can go back and forth. That's great. Loving this new feature they have. Oh, you use the guy to walk over. That's great. That you can put in your initials now to. Oh, that's it. That's it. To mark your score at the top. There you go. And then when you're done, do we close? Yes, we close it. And so cool. Okay, so they incorporated for the putting your score in part of the game. All right, here we go. Put another quarter in and push and start. Want to see if we can get past the round or have at least all the creatures flood in on us. So if you're just now coming in, this is Digger, released in September of 1980, which is the North American release of Hyunkyo Alien. And I bet we get more points for the red guy. Got to, right? So what I'm going to try this time is just set multiple traps around my location that I can get to them if they come in them. And every one of the aliens is completely random. So whether they go in the trap or not, see, that was just random. That one happened to stroll in. 300 points. All right, so I'll just go ahead and set another one. And I'm just waiting for them to come over on my side. This is one strategy. Another way you could do it is set different traps, but you're risking an alien coming at you while you're trying to set those, getting closer to where they are. Okay, there you go. Got that one. Let's see if we can capture another one that comes in. 300 points. It's only 1980. We don't have that much attitude yet in the arcades. However, I would love to know what kind of sound effects are on this game, because there are sound effects, we just aren't able to play them. All right, here we go. Can we get this trap open? Oh, see, and the alien just turned the other direction. I don't know why. It's totally random how it works. Come on, let's go. There's only 2 left, and because of the randomness, they could just pace back and forth the entire time. Oh, here we go. I got one. That's it. And you got to hurry up and quick. Close them in. Yes. 300 points. Let's see if we can get them on one of these. Oh, see, and if it's not a fully open trap, he just goes right through. Doesn't even phase the guy. Come on. Fall. Take the bait. Take the bait. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, so we close them in, and then moving on to next round. 1,000 points. For Digger. I wouldn't say that's the best name for this game, because Digger sounds like you're going to dig through something, and this is digging a hole, which I guess, yeah, it is digging, but it's not really the purpose of the game. Because we've seen just a handful of other games that include digging, or underground at least. All right, so let's see if we can get some set up here. Oh, man, they're not taking any of the bait. Oh, we got 2 at 1. That's not good. I'm going to take out the one with more points. And the other one's 2,000 points. The other one's going to get released before I can... so here we go. And, of course, they got me that time. The only good bug is a dead bug. All right, let's see if we can get this guy. Close it up. Close it up. Oh, see, he got out too fast. And it looks like they're going to... as rounds go by over and over again, it's going to be progressively more difficult. Or faster for the bugs. Come on. Oh, he didn't take the bait. Take the bait, man. And if they decide to stay on the other side of the screen, then nothing is going to happen. Here we go. Go and go, 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 go. Quick, capture him. Yes, 200 points. There we go. So a little bit of luck involved, and my strategy is just place traps, and hopefully they'll go in ones that you've laid. There we go. Make it up. Oh, nope. Oh my gosh, no way. Okay, good. He went in that one. Got him. Yes. That's it. Come on. I was waiting to play this one as the North American release rather than the Japanese release, but just keep in mind, this game's concept has been around about a year. We haven't seen it anywhere else, though, so haven't been on computers or home consoles. Only in the arcades. But really fun to play. I really enjoy the strategy involved, and there's lots of iterations to this. You can find version... Oh, no, I'm not going to get there in time. Can I close it? Get it, get it, get it. Close, 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 go. I like whenever he eats you, you turn green the same way. Oh, but loads and loads of fun. All right, so that is Digger. So out of 5 stars, we're getting up there because this is definitely in the range of 3.5, 4. Because of it's not something we've seen before, and because just keep in mind, Pac-Man had the whole maze craze hasn't been hit yet. When Pac-Man comes, everyone's going to copy that maze craze. This is before that, so I'm going to go ahead and give Digger 4.5 stars, definitely. And for we gave Heliuncle Alien 5, so we'll go ahead and give Digger 5 as well because of how it influenced the video game industry. By the way, take a look at the video snapshot on how fast it's going. It's crazy fast. All right, so yeah, that's true. We gave Heliuncle Alien high because it was the first one, so we'll do 4.5 for Digger. Okay, so 4.5 for Digger. Let's move on to our next game. What is next? We are in the arcades, and this is HeliFire. HeliFire. Let's take a look at the artwork for HeliFire. Oh, I love that. That means it's from Nintendo. We've only seen a handful of games by Nintendo. Didn't even know Nintendo made HeliFire. So there's examples of 2 cabinets, the upright and cocktail version. There's the upright cabinet. Very nice. Most likely, if this was put in North America, which I think the game we're going to be playing is the Japanese release, but if it was in North America, at this time, I'm aware there's only one warehouse, and they were trying to redistribute some of their arcade cabinets. So it looks a little like what was the game called? Monkey Magic that we also played by Nintendo. All right, so there's the PCB, and it looks like for controls we just 4-way joystick and fire. HeliFire. There's our marquee by Nintendo. That Nintendo, that has a nice ring to it. And there's a screenshot, really cool gradient of the sky in the background. Don't see that very much as far as arcade games go. All right, let's take a look at the manual for HeliFire. This is the operation manual. Yes, Nintendo with the same font back in 1980. That is awesome. All right, so going through the table of contents, looks like we have installation of the machine. We're not installing arcade cabinets here on Chronologically Gaming. We're breezing by. Does it have anything about the game itself? Anything about what HeliFire is? How would they describe HeliFire in 1980? If you worked for Nintendo and were needing to tell everyone what HeliFire was, does the manual have anything? No, it does not. So if you wanted to learn how to install and operate HeliFire, there you go. And fast forward. All right, so for different versions, looks like we just have 2 different sets. We're going to play the most recent one. It is September 1980, and we're playing HeliFire in the arcade. Oh, developed by Nintendo R&D 1. Awesome, with the artwork for the arcade cabinet. That is great, and we got the gradient that I was talking about before. Very impressive for arcade game at the time. So graphically, it looks like we're seeing what we've seen based on Galaxian and Space Invaders. We have a fixed shooter. Well, not necessarily fixed because we're moving left to right. Which I think this is the first game we played. We're actually moving left to right while we shoot something from above. All right, so let's put a coin in and push and start. Cool, there's a little ditty there, kind of quiet, but I like it, I dig it. And plays really well. I love whenever you have more range of motion. Yeah, because I can move up, down, left, and right. And I only have 1 fire button, so I know I'm going to fire vertical, straight up. But works really well. Plays really well. Looks like they're just dropping depth charges. And the only thing I'd say that's different about this than we played with other games is we're moving left to right. And we're having to dodge... Oh, I can't believe they got me. Ridiculous. Great classic sound effects for the arcade there. But the way it plays, excellent for the time. This is a blast. Giving one small difference between other fixed shooters we've seen. And the more ships that come on the screen, then the more sound effects they give us. That's great. Looks like I can blow everything up. Nice. We have some other games that when we took place in the water, and you couldn't shoot everything. Only certain objects to be shot. But it looks like I have things I can dodge. Can I shoot those missiles? Wait a second. How do I get past this? Oh man, I don't think I can get. I don't know how I was going to get through that field unless you have to dodge it just precisely enough to get by. But we're still on 1/4, still going. And they are increasing complexity. Oh yeah, nice. Faster enemies, different colors, and it is a left to right scroll on the screen. Scrolling's big. I know we're playing on a fixed screen. Oh, I can't believe that. Yeah, they're dropping it a little faster. That is fun. HeliFire. So that's right, there's helicopters. We're shooting the helicopters. It's fire at the helicopters. All right, let's put another quarter in and push start. Yeah, this is great. Way to go, Nintendo. That company's up to something. They're going to do some great things. I really enjoy it when we get the artwork of the cabinet. This is what you would have seen playing the arcade back in the day. And I really enjoy all the comments I've gotten from people that watch the show and tell me they saw these systems in the wild. So any of these that you saw, tell me where you saw them. Where was it at a laundromat? Was it in an arcade? Was it at a bar? If you see these in the wild, it's always fun. We're just getting to sample the games, get a feel of what it would be like to play these games back in the time, and then just move progressively forward from there. Live in the wild, that's right. When they were popular, because nowadays, most of these are only in museums. Oh, nope, nope. They got me in the pincher attack. They're taking almost the Space Invaders way of playing, which is giving you the thumping sounds to get your heart pumping. And it's working. It is a blast. Those helicopters gotta go, man. I think we only played one game that was in the water as a submarine. Because we did have other shooters. No way. Can I get past this? Thank you. All right. Get him. Because everything else we've seen has been spaceships in space. And I guess we're technically in space because we got stars. But the manual didn't have a story, so we don't know why are we shooting these helicopters? Why are we firing at the helicopters? We don't know. At this point, there's really not story unless we're playing a computer game. Every computer game that we played has a story. It's almost mandatory. But the arcade games, it's just go in and play. We've seen a little bit, but nothing. Nothing big. But that's the way it's supposed to be. You jump in, you play, have fun, and you want to be able to get your quarters in and make up some money. Otherwise, it's not an arcade game. Every one of the advertisement flyers we see for arcade games, it's really geared to sell to whoever owns the arcade or who's going to buy the cabinet. So not for us. They don't really advertise to the players playing the arcade like, hey, this is a really good game, you should get this one. It's more of, this arcade game is going to make you a lot of money. Do you like quarters? Do you like coins? Then you want this. All right, so the other thing I've noticed is a lot of these games still have only one shot at a time. So my submarine is not upgrading, which we've seen that in the arcades. My submarine is not shooting multiple things at once, because Moon Cresta did that in the arcades very well, where you could upgrade your ship and get larger and larger. But this one just came out of left field on that. So there you go. Game over for HeliFire. Lots of fun. Does the job really well. I'm thinking more average, so around the 2-3 star mark for the time. I know it's Nintendo, but I don't want to be biased. Based on everything else we've seen, we're going to give this one 3 stars for HeliFire. Very well done. The best of the average. All right, so moving on to our next game. This is Space Encounters in the arcades. So glad in the arcades. This is the golden age of arcades, where we want to be. 1980, of course. All right, here's our advertising flyer for Space Encounters. Thanks again for all the chat votes, because the 5-star rating is obviously going to be based on how we're seeing all the games from the beginning of time and up to this point. So we're giving 5 stars, for example, to Space Invaders, not because, you know, it's going to beat anything we've seen now, but we're going to be basing them on everything we've seen from 1971 until now. And it's going to get a little harder to rate these games because we're going to be playing so many, and they're going to be so close of which one's better or not better. But keep the votes coming. Love them. All right, so this is Midway's new video game, Space Encounters. Another surefire attraction that features exciting space battles with electrifying sounds and flashing lights that dazzle players. The challenge is to guide an assault attack ship to destroy alien spaceships, dodging enemy fire and avoiding contact with rushing waves of space channel walls. A new kind of video game that requires skill, agility, and concentration. Of course it does. Not totally arbitrary. It's based on the 5 stars. There's the video that I have on our YouTube site that breaks down all the stars and what they mean. But essentially, you can't get to 5 stars unless it's something, not only is a good game, but it has to be something that influences other video games and pushes the video game industry. The other reason I did that is for controversy. Why have a 5-star rating system when we're going to have people bicker and moan about what star rating they want? It's more fun that way. All right, so let's see. Oh, nice. The arcade cabinet has the cockpit handle. Love those. So we're probably going to get more of a feel of a arcade experience for Space Encounters. There it is, with a control panel with a bunch of buttons that probably don't do anything, but look flashy. Yeah, the controls are just up, down, left, and right, and fire, so those don't do a thing. We have seen 5 stars. I demand 5 stars. We actually had to hit a stint where we were going 5-star, 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 just because we had so many Golden Age arcade games at once. It was awesome. So there's our arcade marquee, and then example of screenshot. Interesting. This is a black and white game. Does that mean that it was programmed black and white, and what we saw was the plexiglass overlay that was making the color? Oh, it's got to be. Cool. So maybe we'll get that when we boot it up. All right, so here's our manual. This is the operator and service manual for Midway Space Encounters. August 1980 was when the manual was out, not exactly when the game was released. Okay, so installation, don't care. Give me, what is this game? What is Space Encounters? How do you describe Space Encounters? Tell me, Midway. It is giving us all the secrets, though. Everything about the arcade cabinet. Oh, yeah, and the assembly of the control shelf. We're not going to be assembling any control shelves here on Chronologically Gaming. Yeah, nope. Come on, show me something. I want to see what this game is. Do you have anything in the manual? Or is it just... Yeah, no, it's just getting more and more complex. So, yes, looks like no help from the manual. We're going to have to go in and play it. We're stepping up to the arcade. It's September 1980, playing Space Encounters by Midway. Oh, yes, we got it all. Love it. So the game is programmed only in black and white, and the color we're seeing is the overlay, but what a color overlay. It looks awesome. And obviously taking inspiration from Star Wars. However, the best ripoff was Exidy's ripoff called Space Star, which was almost exactly like Star Wars. It was awesome. So Exidy had the best ripoff so far, but this is obviously the trench run from Star Wars, and I love how we get everything. What you saw for the arcade cabinet, the marquee, and the game itself. And there you go. There's a flash of what the overlay looks like, just the color part. All right, so here we go. Putting a quarter in for Space Encounters. You have credit bonus at 4,000, 8,000, and 16,000. Press the fire button. Ooh, oh, cool. Play control is surprisingly smooth. So one hit of the ship. Oh, that's awesome. One hit of the ship and it doesn't die yet. It bounces around first, and you have to dodge the bounced around ship. Okay, yeah, this plays smoother than I thought because it's not using a 4-way joystick. This is using the handlebar that we saw. So it gives you a better range of motion. Look how smooth the fighter looks whenever you fly across. No, not the space aliens. Oh, man. And we get the sound effects, explosions. It's awesome. It sounds like someone squeaking a balloon for whenever the ships go off course. Now, I only have one fire button. I really wanted to get those UFOs, causing so much noise and destruction. Messing up my concentration of the game. Okay, total Star Wars reference there. The way you get hit and you fly off on the side really looks like whenever you hit Darth Vader. Luke Skywalker hits Darth Vader in the movie and then flies out of the trench. It's the same thing. Yeah, that's true. Apologies for anybody that's sensitive to flashing lights. Please close one eye if you're sensitive. A lot of these games weren't programmed for those kinds of sensitivities. But there you go. That's my 1/4. I survived about 3 hits, which is pretty good. Yeah, lots of color, explosions. Notice it's also giving us the light of the arcade cabinet. Like it's actually lit up red. Love it. Okay, let's put another 1/4 in because it's too much fun to not play this. Space Encounters by Midway. We've only played one other game that has this kind of trench run look, or the Star Wars trench run look. And it's not the last. We're going to see lots of games that mimic this. 77 was when Star Wars came out. It's 1980, which means Empire Strikes Back. I actually don't remember the exact date of when Empire Strikes Back comes out. Because I know we're going through the historical video game side on Chronologically Gaming, but there's also so much pop culture references happening behind the scenes that we're not going to hit on too much. But if anyone wants to look it up, when did the Empire Strikes Back release? Because I know Return of the Jedi was 83. And so was Empire Strikes Back 81? Or was it in 80 that it came out? Go, go, go. Okay, but the way this plays, considering the other games we get him. Yes, okay, I got both UFOs. Awesome. And there's some kind of thing rolling in the background, which is giving us more points. That's awesome. Oh, and we got even like a stay on target. I wonder if we can see the end of the trench. But it looks like, oh, it flashes so much. At least it's on a smaller screen from what we see. Oh, it is 80. Okay, so I wonder if, right now we're September 1980, and I wonder if in theaters right now Empire Strikes Back is there, but they're still copying the first movie here from 77. But that was Space Encounters. Way too much fun for 1980, and it's giving us the handle or like a cockpit, like we're in control of the spaceship. Love it. Oh, May 21st. Okay, so someone already saw it. So we're in 1980 right now. Obviously, you can tell by my shirt that that it already has come out. But this is someone still Midway's copying the original Star Wars. So Empire Strikes Back is out. If you haven't seen it in theaters yet, you should. It's so good, man. So good. Okay, so for our 5-star rating, Space Encounters, this is the first time we've seen the trench run. It plays very, very smooth. Very fun and controls well. I'm willing to go 5 because of we have the full gamut sound effects, our arcade experience. So yeah, we're going 5 stars for Space Encounters. Of all the things we've seen thus far, this one is the best arcade. All right, so moving on to our next game. After Space Encounters, what's next? And technically, it's the 80s. If it's 1980, we wouldn't have internet. We wouldn't look anything up. We'd have to ask our friends, or you have to do something which no one knows nowadays, which is say, I don't know. You don't hear that anymore because everyone can get the answers for everything. But if it was 1980, we just, I don't know. All right, our very next game is, on the home Atari 2600. This is Championship Soccer. So we're back at home playing Atari. Most likely I'll be at a friend's house because I wasn't, my family wasn't rich enough to buy an Atari. We had one of the lower grade systems. So here we go. Championship Soccer, video computer system game program. 54 games. That's what I'm talking about. Atari knows how to do it. Oh, and this one has a little sticker. Can you see the Pele Championship Soccer game program? Oh, nice. It's endorsed by Pele himself. He's not on the box, but they have a sticker. All right, so yeah, I know how excited you are for sports. Anybody that is a sports fan or not, I'll put it this way. Video games started with sports because Pong technically was advertised as a sports game. So we will be playing sports. So for 1 or 2 players, of course, it's soccer. And there's the example of the cartridge. Wow, so un-Atari-like. It's very boring. Championship Soccer, CX2616. Program contents, 1980, Atari. Used with joystick controllers. That's Championship Soccer. All right, so let's look at the manual. Do we got the real one? Yes, the real Pele's Championship Soccer for your Atari. Now, if it controls with the Atari joystick, that's one button, one joystick. So let's see what we're like. Meet the Atari Computer Soccer Team. Okay, soccer fans, the Atari Championship Soccer Team challenges you to a game. The Atari Computer Team is waiting impatiently inside your game program cartridge for you to select one of the single-player games. Games 28 through 54. They want to show you their stuff. Here's a brief rundown of each player so you know who you're up against. What? They're going to give us... Oh, they do. Look, they got Crash Morgan, Nick Danger, Lumpy Duran, and Alexei Putsitnowski. Okay, great. Love it, Atari. Giving your blips names, because we know it's just going to be a few pixels on the screen. All right, so how to choose a game. If you're not familiar, Atari has switches of which game you're going to play and difficulties, and then instructions. And I love how Atari manuals show a screenshot and then examples of what things are, so you know how to play. And then how to play the game. Object is it's soccer. If you don't know how to play soccer, it's the world sport, or football is the world sport. Hopefully everyone knows how to play football. So, game program instructions, and then how to play, and then it explains the clock, the opening kickoff. Love the instruction manual for Atari, by the way. We've seen other manuals for other home consoles, but Atari is king. And I would even say for most of the time, Atari's king in arcade right now. They're a king at home, and they're king on the computer space for their Atari 800 and 400 computer. Football, yes. Okay, so when a game makes a score, we get second half, out-of-bounds penalty plays, and then it shows the different game programs, because like all the Atari games, it's multiple game modes that you can play. They advertise it as games, but it's just game modes. And then difficulty switches, what it does. And then, yes, if you look over on the side here, I say this every now and then, the Atari is so old, there is a switch on the console for if you have a black and white or color television. That's right, black and white television. So console controls, and then ball control, how to play the ball control, game strategy. Oh, I love how Atari does that. Not only does it tell you how to play, but then it says some good tips and tricks on how to play. Way before the internet where you could look it up, you had to have the manual, well, I hope you did, to know how to play the best way you could. And then how to zigzag, drills, and practice how to play. And then they show you all the different game modes. So it looks like we want to play... We'll start with one of the first game modes and see what that's like. Okay, here we go. For different versions, it looks like we got Pele Soccer in Europe and the Pele Soccer version. Let's just check out Championship Soccer. That was the first one released. It is September 1980, and we are at home playing our Atari 2600 Championship Soccer. There it is. I told you we would be a blip. Can't you tell that's me? I'm right there. Yes, remember this? There it is. Remember the super old black and white TV? I remember the super old black and white TV. I remember watching television on the super old black and white TV. Totally different than a video game. But there you go. So we're going to do color. We are upscale here on Chronologically Gaming. And so we're going to play game mode 1. Go ahead and push start. Let's do it. We're doing it, Championship Soccer. So here we go. I am the orange, red, brown. I'm the maroon at the bottom. And you can see me moving across. The other team is played by the blue. And it looks like the goalie is being controlled, but okay, nice, I can hit diagonal shots. But the other team has to be controlled by a second controller. So I'm going to plug in a second controller and see if we can hit the goalie to fire off. Yeah, so the goalie and the second players have to be controlled by someone else, so there's no computer for them. Let's see if we can make a goal. Oh, did it work? No, the goalie caught it. All right, here. See if we can get it to go in. So you have to outsmart the goalie, but it's great how you can control all three at the same time. So you can work on passing it back and forth. Yeah, the controls are fantastic. They play really well. God, that computer controlled goalie's too good. Let's see. Yeah, he's following the ball, not me. Come on. All right, I want to see if I can outsmart the computer goalie for Atari. Dang it. Come on. You can do it. Get over there. I can get really close to the goal, so this should work. No, get in there. Oh, man. So, yeah, it's really difficult to get past the goalie. The goalie's being controlled by... There we go. The best cheering sound effects we've ever heard. It looks like it switches over to second player, so you have to have the second controller. They take the soccer ball, bring it down to the end. Oh yeah, this plays great. And you can go for steals. Let's try a different game mode because there's 57 or 54 different game modes on this one. Okay, so here we go. Let's go game 2, 3, 4. Let's play game 5, and let's see if we can get a computer-controlled way, or a computer to play against me, or do you have to have 2 people to play soccer? Oh, it looks like this game mode just has a smaller goal than the other one. Okay, so let's try a different one. 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's try 10. Going again. Oh, yeah, faster speed. There we go. Nice. Yeah, it feels more intuitive now that I can move quicker. Oh, yeah, but plays great, though. I love how smooth the controls are and responds to what you want to do. Plus, you got the sound effects of all the walking and running across the field. All right, here we go. Yep, moving even faster now on game mode 20. And, man, that goalie still is so good. So when you play 2-player, you don't have to worry about the goalie. So, for example, I'm going to play as a second player. I'm not going to control my goal. I'm not using the other controller at all. And the goalie's going to control themselves. Yeah, so you kind of have a freebie, I guess. So let's check out game mode 30 and see the difference on this one. Yes, we got it. Okay, so they do have a game mode with a computer. So now I'm playing against the computer. Now I'm scared. I don't know what's difficulty the computer's on, but I have a computer that's playing me now. Oh, great. Okay, so let's see if we can make a run for it. As you can see, you have to work with all 3 players that you have. Okay, we went for a steal that time. Nice. Okay, well, here we go. Here we go. Oh my gosh, the goal's so small. It's like we're playing hockey. See, now this is all computer controlled. This is awesome. Big advantage, too, to have this because not a lot of games program in artificial intelligence. We're seeing more and more now, and this is very impressive for the time and a lot of fun. We played at the beginning of the year, there was Atari Soccer that was in the arcades, and that was a big 5-star game because of how well it was. Yes! Oh, yes! Awesome! All right, so this is a blast to play, especially for something you could do at home. So for our rating system, we're going to go with 4 stars. Not exactly as amazing as the arcade, but we're not basing it totally on the arcade. Just what you could play at home for soccer. 4 stars for sure for championship soccer. Love it. That is a lot of fun. All right, so that's where we're going to leave our quest tonight with Championship Soccer. Thanks so much for joining me on my quest playing every single video game. We're going to kick it off again and again. We're playing them all, so we'll see you next time. Hey, everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if you miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.